Okay.
Let's take it away, shall we, Ant?
Yeah, sure. All right.
So we've got a short PowerPoint for you, sir, but we're going to jump in and out of various things as we go. But yeah, welcome to this online interaction on the EV Nautilus. This is something the EV Nautilus does all the time with the stakeholders of all kinds, often schools, but other kinds of stakeholders as well. Let's go to the next slide, please. So what we're going to go through this afternoon, we can probably do all this in 30 minutes, or if you want to ask lots of questions or dive into things, go up to an hour, is those things on the screen. And so we'll just go straight to the next one, shall we? Bev, did you want to kick us off on this one?
Oh, I think you may have seen this slide. This is kind of illustrating exactly who we collaborate with, which is really quite impressive. So 30 institutions. I thought it was more countries now, John. And a hit rate of 26 or 50 odd engagements from all of the proposals that we've done, which is outstanding to have that many engagements. So we're really, really happy with that, aren't we, John?
Yeah, no, when I look back at the stats, I'm a bit surprised. And some of these are quite small programs and some of them are bigger. It's just as we go around the world talking to people, because we do need help because we're such a small country, we just find a warm reception pretty much everywhere we've gone. And we want to keep growing this and leveraging off everyone's expertise and willingness to help us make the right decisions.
We must be doing something right, because I too get and meet people internationally when they find out I'm from the Cook Islands. And in terms of our seabed program, they have very good things to say about it, particularly the science that we apply, the methodology, our regulatory framework. It comes across very positively in nearly all of the engagements I've had with people in this particular sector. So somebody's doing a good job. Good work.
You are.
Yeah, well, we're going to keep going as hard as we can, sir, and getting what we can get done. And I think it's a big thanks to everybody. And as you can see on the bottom there's this idea of IBOS, the Institute of Blue Ocean Science and Sustainability, which I understand came from your own vision. And really, every time we go to sea and get more done or do another collaboration, we can just see all that one day coalescing into IBOS. Next slide. So we're on an expedition for the deep sea habitats in the Cook Islands and the cruise number is NA176, which is the 176th recent cruise by a vessel called the EV Nautilus. And when we sat down and worked out what would be good mission for this cruise, we looked at a few options, but this was certainly the one that resonated really well with our partners. Our partners are from Ocean Exploration Trust and the US National NOAA, National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. And so the primary objective here, as you read, is to go and learn, make a step change in our understanding of megafauna. And the reason we've chosen that is it works to the strengths of this vessel and the spread on board this vessel. You can see from the photograph on the right-hand side, this platform can deliver images of extremely high quality. And in fact, this particular cruise is the first time such a high quality camera has been used anywhere in the world at these depths. It's a 4K camera basically that uses a particular kind of shutter that allows for extremely crisp still images to be taken out of a video. So that's something very important when you're trying to record things on the seabed and everything's moving all the time. You can't exactly ask things to stop for you. And our primary objective is to go and look at this megafauna, but in different types of seabed, different kinds of geoforms, we call them, so mountains and plains and so forth, and with and without nodules, because we want to try and understand what difference does that make. If we know what that difference is, then we can really get into the nuts and bolts of marine spatial planning. That's something, of course, that Marae Moana dictates that we need to do. It's leading best practice as well, but you need the data. And for this class of animal, the megafauna, it's got to be around images. We do have some secondary activities as well. Wherever we have a gap or we're going somewhere, the multi-beam system on the ship is really similar to the one on the Tanga Moana. and there's a sub-bottom profiler that looks into the seabed as well. And with all the crew on board this vessel, there are skilled hydrographic surveyors who are helping collect that data in as good a quality as possible. We also took the opportunity to drop 2 benthic landers in collaboration with some of the license holders, because they're long-term environmental platforms, and they're experimental as well. So another first for this cruise, but if we can get those out there and if they work well, we should have some really good baseline data coming back to us early next year. And a very routine thing that we do when we go offshore is collect marine wildlife observations. So there's 2 logs on the vessel, one on the bridge, one on the back deck. And if we see anything, and we haven't seen too much so far, they're supposed to be logged. Next, thanks.
Is that another name for fishing?
We have not taken any samples yet that I know of. As far as I know, I haven't even seen a line out the back, but I bet you if you looked in the right cupboards, you'd probably find a couple of fishing kits on board.
Really scientific, though.
all in the name of science. Kia ora, Right Honourable Prime Minister Mark Brown, Antony Vavia here, a senior research fellow from kia ora. Senior research fellow from Te Puna Vai Mārama and lecturer at Auckland University of Technology. I think I'm going to take this opportunity just to introduce the EV Nautilus. I'll just bring it up here for you. So this is the research vessel that we're all aboard at the moment. This is a bit longer than the Marae Moana that we have in Rarotonga, and we've had the opportunity to jump on board the Nautilus, which has been quite an incredible experience with the access to technology that this crew has on board. At the moment, you can see this big blue thing that looks like a really large kettle. There's no boiling water in there, trust me. But just to the left of that, we've got these 2 white container housings. Right now, our team that's chatting with you, we're in this small room. And to the fore of that, over here, is the control van, which are these guys. They are the ones responsible for operating the remotely operated vehicles that allow us to see or experience and observe what's happening down at the sea floor. Part of the amazing resources that we have here is this big golf ball-like structure. That's actually responsible for allowing us to be able to have this conversation right now, as well as being able to show you things like what's happening on the back deck. Right now, we are retrieving 2 of the remotely operated vehicles, the Atalanta and the Little Hercules. Nothing really groovy to show you, but this is what the vessel is showing, the ROVs are showing right now as we're retrieving them. It looks like the ROV is 488 meters away from the deck, which might actually happen while we're in this call. But essentially, we've been, the team that TJ and I and Mike behind me, as well as John, has been part of the science team, where we've been able to spend 4-hour watches, 4 hours on, 8 hours off. And during that time, it's an opportunity to identify as well as quantify what marine life we're experiencing, which has been really amazing. It's been, to my surprise, how much life is down there. And my job on board has been one of the science communication fellows. I'm really good at talking, so might as well use that strength as best as possible. So yeah, it's been a really interesting voyage so far.
Do you have the video showing the Hercules and Atalanta together, like the one that also shows the telepresence?
Yep. So here, this is just an animated version of what I've been sharing. No, not that. 。 So we've got our Nautilus, and at the stern, we have an extremely long fiber optic cable that allows the drop of the ROV. Here's the Hercules. Everything that we're seeing gets passed through the Atalanta. So this ROV is quite important because it keeps an eye on the little Herc. We might be able to see some footage of what that looks like. You're continuously seeing a bird's eye view of the Hercules. All of that data gets sent up here to the big golf ball, up into the sky somewhere to a satellite, and that's projected down to the stations where it's broadcasted around the globe. We've also been able to connect with schools around the world. That's been my role, being able to communicate what sort of work we've been doing, and with the younger generation, it's been an opportunity to hopefully inspire looking into ocean stewardship and taking care of our marine resources.
Fantastic.
That's it from me.
Yep, so it's my job now to give you the beginning of an update on leg one. Then I'm going to pass it over to Rima, please. You can tell a little bit more about it. So on the right-hand side, of course, you can see a map that should be fairly familiar to you. It's a map of the seabed of part of the Cook Islands. I don't know if you can move your cursor there, Ant, to Rarotonga, which is down the bottom there, and then up to Aitutaki, and then up to the PPRZ, say. It's, yeah, there. So wherever you see a bright color, that's the multi-beam that was collected during leg one. And you'll see that the line continues up to Swararo in the top left corner. And the reason we did so much multi-beam is we had a whole heap of problems. It started with weather problems. Then we had a medical emergency. One of the mates got dengue and had to be medevaced to Aitutaki. We also had equipment failure. One of the bottles on the ROV failed. But what this all turns into is a lesson in teamwork and persistence and skill. And I must say my hat's off to the crew and science team of the EV Nautilus, because these things seem to happen one after the other, right? The moment we got through one problem, we'd be into the next. And they never gave up. They rebuilt equipment by working straight through the night. We kept adapting our plan. And as we adapted our plan, the surveyors are always trying to get a little bit more science in terms of the multi-beam. And ultimately, we persevered. Ultimately, all the problems were behind us. And then suddenly the cruise started delivering in terms of its objectives. So we did have to change things around. What we were planning to do on leg one, we moved almost it all to leg two. And our backup work in leg two, we effectively scrapped most of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it we had to scrap. So we were focused really on our primary objectives, and we had to sacrifice some of our secondary stuff. We did complete one dive on leg one, which is that red oval over the Knoll complex. And I think what I'd like to do is pass it to Rima. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how that dive and leg one went for you?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, John. Yeah, as John mentioned, we had choppy weather out there. So for a few of us, it was getting our sea legs. I was quite sick for a day or two. And then we just kept running into a few more issues. But I was so close to getting to go on to Saguaro. Unfortunately, that guy got sick and we had to come all the way back down to Aitutaki. What was going to happen was myself, Eva, and Tiru were going to swap off the boat so that Ants, Mike, and TJ could hop on. So we were getting quite anxious to get a dive in before we had to get off. So thankfully, our last 2 days on the boat, we managed to do our very first dive. And I have to say it was the most exciting thing for me because after a few days of just driving the boat and mapping, it was good to have some action going on. And it was funny because I think it was Eva and Tiru's shift who were on first during the dive, and the screen was just ocean. It was just blue water, but we were so super excited just watching the screen for, I think we watched it for about 2 hours before it even reached the bottom. But I just remember the whole time it was so exciting, the anticipation of what we were going to see. And then finally it was my turn to get in the van, and no, it was a very exciting experience to actually see the sea floor and be in the room to identify the types of life that we were seeing, especially alongside, you know, expert scientists, and even the pilots who have had years of experience, you know, doing dives such as these. They were even helping us ID some of the life that was down there because they just have all that knowledge from their past experiences. So yeah, it was a really great learning opportunity. Another highlight was probably when Tiru and I did a web interaction with Tiskavaka College. Yeah. So Mr. Unuka and his class tuned in. That was awesome for them, I guess, for Cook Islanders to see, you know, other Cook Islanders within these kinds of opportunities, you know, just seeing that it is possible for our young ones as well. But they were very interested in seeing a shark. And unfortunately, we were like, oh, I don't think we'll be able to see sharks at this depth, but we'll stay tuned and maybe you might see one. But no, it's like John said, even just the resolution from the camera, you would have seen those images that Bev showed you, so crisp. And, you know, already getting products out of this cruise is so great. I've been showing my family, you know, they're quite amazed, although they said after 10 minutes they're a bit bored watching the dive. So, but yeah, since I've been back on land, even I've just been tuning in to the live stream every now. Oh, well, actually, I have it running all day on my on my computer. So it's very exciting stuff. So awesome to, you know, have this opportunity. But yeah, excited to see, you know, what else we see.
Fantastic.
Do you want to take PM through the slide, Dreamer, or shall I have a go?
You can take that one away, John.
No problem. So this is the first dive that we completed. It was actually supposed to be the last dive, but as I said, we swapped the two legs around. And what you're looking at is a perspective view. So you're looking over a thing called a knoll complex, which are hills that are under a kilometre, and you can see where Ant's pointing in the bottom corner. And as you look into the distance, it's like you're looking along that polygon. You're looking to the north, and you can see the seamount where we did the third dive and the plains where we did the second in the background. And that black line that you can see kind of draped over the hill, just where it says first dive site, Ants.
Where?
The black line there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's the path we actually followed, and we went from left to right. So we went from where the text is to the other side. And so you'd plan these dives to try and work to optimally with the ROV. And so the ROV is best going uphill, for example. It's hard for it to go downhill safely. Although in this case, we dropped off a cliff, and the operators did a great job following the cliff down. And that took about 36 hours to go. I think it was not quite 10 kilometers, I think, that one. And we managed to characterize really well a couple of knolls in that massive field of knolls, the biggest one actually within the license areas. And so we were surprised how many nodules we found. We were surprised at the variety of life. And we were surprised also how it changed with depth or location. Do you want to go to the next slide? And you've seen some of these photos already, but we're going to go through them. And then maybe, Rima, you can talk to a couple.
TJ is the marine biologist. She can name them.
Okay, TJ, pass to you.
No pressure.
Be on the spot there, Rama.
All right.
Well, kia ora, Prime Minister and our SBMA staff. Good to see you guys again. Must be nice being out on land, but even better out here at sea. So what you can see here are some of which I think was the highlight on this dive was the Casper octopus. It's been posted on our Facebook, so if you get the time, go check it out. Then we got some sea anemones, similar to the one in Finding Nemo, if you haven't seen so. There's a closer shot. And again, really high quality images.
That one.
Yeah.
The lasers in.
How big is that?
I think Rima would know that one. How big is that, Rima?
That was like 30 centimeters when I looked at the lasers.
Yeah.
And you have some really small ones, like they're so cute.
So just rushing through, that's a cusk eel.
An island. Yes.
Is that a spawn of,
This one was
how do you pronounce that
cool.
again?
I think that's a Tino 4.
Singapore had like
Spawnophore.
disco lights. Yeah, it was so cool.
Holothurian, similar to a maturori. Crinoid, which is the same family as the brittle starfish, and sea urchins. Not too sure what this one was, but I'm guessing it's a mixture of. Yeah, there's an anemone at the bottom of a sea sponge. Another glass sponge. Some more other interesting stuff, a sponge and anemone. And that's what you saw on the presentation before, and of course a deep sea coral. I think this is called a octocoral. And another maturori, and of course our nodules themselves. So good to see, just a range of deep sea life, especially in the different terrains, the different topography of the seabed as you go along higher up on a slope and down a slope in certain knolls and along the abyssal plains, as well as within the nodule fields. So yeah.
Cool. Who's up next?
Oh, right, this is me. Gosh. Okay, kicking into Lake 2. Just a disclaimer, I was sick for 3 days during the start of this dive. So I joined when the ROV was making its way back up. But nah, this dive was went really well. I think we were down for about 36 hours, 26 at the seabed in total, and of course 5 hours to get down, 5 hours to come back up with the little Hercules. No issues encountered so far. This was just during the flat abyssal plains. As you can see, where ants are circling in the darker bold green area circle. And yeah, we saw a high abundance of nodules, and like I said, 26 hours on the seabed, so that's all you're looking at, is nodules and a bit of sea life here and there.
Again, PM, we've got the same kind of diagram now. You're now looking from the south, kind of towards the southeast, sorry, from the north towards the southeast. And the only thing to really tell you here is there's nothing to see, right? It's just flat seabed. And the idea of this cruise is to compare between nodule fields and other kinds of geomorphons, including some that have low nodules and some that are on mountains. So this was a very important dive because this is the one that actually went through the heart of the nodule field between the license areas of CSR and MML. This was, if you like, our vanilla, our base line. Let's go to the next one. And there's some images. You good to go with these, TJ?
Yeah. And then what we'll show you next is just a few images, high quality images captured from that second dive on the second leg of the expedition. So it won't take too much time. I just skim through these. Again, another holothurian. So I think one good thing to mention is, like John already said, the vessel is equipped with quite high quality cameras to take some really good shots. And I think one thing that has been really amazing to see is that some species from which the scientists on the vessels haven't quite come across before. So that's the first for us, and that's something for us to be proud of. Yeah, just really amazing to experience this firsthand. And then next slide.
So yeah, we're currently on the 3rd dive site, and we've got another 2 at least to go. You can see the map in the top right corner has 3 red ticks, which means they're all done now, barring any issues with the recovery. And then we're going to probably go to the point just below to the south, and then we'll probably go to the point in the north west corner. This particular dive was up the seamount. It's the tallest seamount in any of the license areas that I can think of anyway. It doesn't go all the way to the surface. It's about 2 kilometers high, so it stops about a little under 3 kilometers below the surface. And we made our way from the plane all the way to the top. We don't have any images to show you yet from this dive because we're literally just finishing it. But there were spectacular geological landforms. I think the geos on the boat were really, really happy, including even some of the non-geos, a very wide variety of types of lava and highly variable biomass. So in some places we saw quite a bit of life, but there were lots of the seamount that had remarkably little. At the top of the seamount was like a massive sponge garden. I've never seen so many sponges. Also, the other thing we found, which we were a little bit surprised about, is we found nodules all the way from the bottom to the top. Now, the amount of nodules varied, but the fact is what this has told us geologically is that the nodule forming process in the Cook Islands is not dependent on any particular depth or any particular water mass. For over 2 kilometers, you're still getting conditions. The sediment type itself has changed completely from bottom to top. We know that the sediment at the bottom is more siliceous and the one at the top is likely more calcareous, but that didn't stop nodules from growing. So that'll help us understand the origin of those.
Interesting.
Okay.
Cool.
Now, we were hoping to show you the ROV being recovered, but I think we're probably 20 or 30 minutes away from that yet. So we can always just pan back to that later. And shall we go to questions unless, Mike, do you want to say anything or chip in?
I actually don't have very much to add on this one.
I think one thing good to mention is that after every dive, because myself and Mike are data loggers, so we have the opportunity of putting together a final report for that specific dive, and Mike will be doing the report for dive 2, and then I'll be completing the report for dive 3 that's just coming up. So great opportunity again for our Cook Islanders to get on board and get that capacity building, and soon you'll be able to see the results from those dives put together.
Yeah, just to echo that, all data from this cruise is going in the public domain, and that's not just the policy of Seabed Minerals Authority, it's the policy of the Ocean Exploration Trust and NOAA. And when we had that discussion early on, it was a remarkably simple discussion to have, that everything was going to be made public. And in fact, we're running parallel repositories. So the Cook Islands have their own repository that REMA's managing, and NOAA the US government have their own as well. So there should be no trouble getting hold of it. If anyone wants information, they should have no trouble getting hold of it.
Cool.
Fantastic. Well, it's quite remarkable when I look at you guys. You know, you show me some of the images and some of the what it's like in those very nondescript looking boxes on the exterior, but inside it looks like you're in the Starship Enterprise with all these everything. You know, for us to be able to be in there and to utilize this resource courtesy of the US and NOAA, I think it's a great example of collaboration for us to be able to, well, you guys really that are there now, to be able to be part of this expedition, to use these resources that would be way out of our reach as a small country, to share the knowledge and understanding of the seabed. You know, congratulations, well done on getting the project up and running. And just looking at it now, it's just fantastic. And seeing some of the feedback on your postings that have gone up online, it's just amazing. And you look forward to more of this. And hopefully your engagements with our young people will encourage more people into this line of work. Get a greater understanding of our ocean, the importance it plays to us, But it's really great. I'm really happy that I was able to tune in with you guys right now, and share a bit of the work that you've been doing over the last few days, despite the seasickness and everything else. Just got to harden up.
Yeah,
they
they both-
TJ.
In my heart, and I had the flu.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I would want to come on one of these expeditions someday.
Well, we've got some good news for you, sir. They are offering internships. So if you'd like to apply, there's an opportunity there for a journalist. And I think, was the other one an ROV technician or something?
I'll take the RV technician. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Did you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask us, or anything in particular that you'd like to see that we might be able to show you from here?
Well, no, not really.
What's the coolest thing you've seen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Rim
we've got a
was
mirror in my
excited
room,
about
right?
seeing the house, but,
Get that question on every single web
Oh, it's-
section.
Well, Rima, we can ask that straight back to you. What was the coolest thing you saw?
It was the Casper octopus, but then I saw the headless chicken, which is a red matsurori,
right.
and it was swimming in the water column. So that was probably the coolest thing I saw.
I lost about 30 minutes of my life the other day transfixed by the ROV stalking some sort of creature. I was just sitting looking at it. That was quite cool.
Oh, man. It's no whale
the crew-
fall, but
The crew are quite skilled. They know that if they get too close, they'll startle the animal. And they know that
yeah.
if they pull up too sharp, they'll shower the animal in sediment from the backwash of the ROV. So they've got this whole idea of approaching, and when they feel it's not about, just at the limit, they'll land it carefully, and then they'll use a zoom on the camera to get right in and have a look. They've got a pretty good track. I reckon they get like 8 or 9 out of 10 pretty successfully like that.
And
Wow.
as a fish biologist and fisherman myself, I generally get excited when we spot fish. My general rule, though, is that if I haven't eaten it, then I don't know what it is, which is not a... I have been curious about what some of these cusk eels might taste like, but it's not a popular opinion with some of our crewmates. No, they don't like that idea.
He's been shut down countless times.
Well, the coolest thing I ever saw was actually a fish. It was the lizard fish, huh? You saw it had a mouthful of teeth like you can't believe.
Was that on the first dive?
I think it was on the last one, was it? Yeah. I think
Isn't
one
it?
of the ones, yeah. And they sit on the seabed. They just don't move. They wait for something to come close enough, and then they pounce on it. So given how low the biomass is and how few animals there are down there, they must be extremely patient animals. Yeah. Yeah, that was quite long too. That would have been almost half a meter, I'd say. A big one there.
But it's a whole new world, a different world down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sea creatures you see. It's just
What about you?
some of it looks like it's out of this world, really.
Yeah.
There was one type of starfish. It looked like a satellite, like Sputnik or something, with a small thing, and all these spirals coming out. So crikey. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you should jump aboard sometime. I know you don't get seasick. Been on the water with you.
Yes, that's right.
Well, when she comes in, you're having a private tour, so
Okay.
you get to see this environment, and that's right, Ed?
Yes, of course. I have a question outside of science. It's a nutritional question. What's the food like on the vessel? So,
Ooh,
no, a lot of people are very interested.
you'll enjoy it, Ed. Lots and lots of protein. The good stuff. So we got beef, lamb, chicken, fish, pork. Oh, we had pork today for lunch, didn't we?
Pork, yeah, and fish. And it's all in one go. You just select what protein you want. Yeah.
It's a buffet.
I think we're all getting off heavier when we get back to Rarotonga.
They are. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm hitting the gym. What are you guys doing?
Sleeping?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, so nothing for vegans like me then.
We actually do have several vegetarians on board, or pescatarians as well. And no, they've got a lot of healthy options. So don't worry, sir. You're covered if that's what you want
Plenty
to
for
go.
you.
and there is rice at every single meal.
Fantastic.
They even had maniota for the first 3
Oh, yeah.
days. Oh, that was from here.
And someone from Rima's watch left a puna wokotoro in the fridge. I know it wasn't one of the crew on board. I know it's one of our people.
Definitely Eva.
Yeah.
The cravings were real.
Sorry, can I ask, how have the crew been, and how have they treated you guys, and have they been just a real
Mike.
pleasure to work with, and have they been enjoying the Cook Island hospitality from the 4 of you and from the other crew too?
It has been absolutely incredible working with this group of people on this ship. They've been extremely inviting. They've been teaching us pretty much everything that is new for most of us, and they have no issues just dragging us along and showing us the reins on pretty much any part of the ship. So it has been a fantastic experience.
Yeah, if I had to use one word, I'd say professional. They're really,
Very.
really professional. But
Yeah, to the point where they can't talk about eating fish.
Good thing Ants mentioned today during one of our interactions with a bunch of college students is you literally get to spend time with people who are like books, and I think that's a great opportunity for us because we get to pick their brains quite a lot. Something like John. So yeah, we got multiple Johns on this vessel. So again, a great learning curve for all of us.
Scientists.
and don't worry, sir,
Real
we
science.
taught them a little bit as well. It wasn't entirely one way. They were very interested in the Cook Islands. They were very interested in the way we're operating in our country. And a lot of them really appreciated the structure and vigor by which we are developing we're looking at developing perhaps our seabed minerals. And so I think that was a big topic at the beginning of the cruise on the way out to the first site. And yeah, I think in the end it was a really constructive discussion, and like I said, we both learned from each other.
We've convinced quite a few of them to holiday in Aitutaki, so I'll be picking up my paycheck from tourism later.
Oh, fabulous.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
we
we're
look
getting
forward
them started
to that. Can you get in?
on some of the Māori. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, make sure you're teaching the right words.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah.
Ants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're conscious about your time, but please feel free to ask questions if you have any.
Yeah, not all good. I'm one of those walking books, so I'm not worried. I can always ask the team if there's any other questions. I just wanted to see what it was like and how you guys are enjoying it, experiencing it. And it is. I saw the vessel when it was in the harbour at Abatu. Very unassuming, this vessel, but to see its capability and what it can do, and to see you guys on board actually being part of the exploration phase, it's really great. Really loved it. So just happy to have the little presentation, the engagement, following you guys online as well, and look forward to catching up when you get into the harbour on Tuesday next week, and a chance to come on board and have a look around.
Yeah, for
Awesome.
sure.
Cool.
Thank you for your time, guys.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Ka kite.
Ka kite.
Safe travels.